I'm so happy for y'all. It hurts because you deserve this love. And maybe someday the rest of us broken people will find it too. That's Keisha at a Mississippi wedding about to drop a bouquet and run from a man who's been destroying her sanity since he asked when someone last kissed her like that. How did we get here? A broke nanny with $11 called a wheelchair mafia boss frustratingly fine and emotionally constipated, gave up London for love, survived her family invading Korea with illegal seasoning, and now church ladies are inspecting neck tattoos while two grandmas wage war over cornbread. If this is your first time here, parts 1 through 4 are in the description. You're gonna need that context. Honey, if you're asking logical questions, you're in the wrong place. Welcome to the beautiful disaster. Okay, before we begin, y'all know the drill. If you need that paycheck, do not watch this at work. I'm not responsible for you ugly crying at your desk while Deborah from HR asks if you're going through something. You've been warned. Part 5, let's go.
Every woman in here knows there are two types of men at a wedding, the ones who say, "I'm not gonna cry," and the ones who are liars. They are the same man. Daddy Brooks told Mama Brooks at breakfast, "Patricia, I'm fine. I have been fine. I will continue to be fine. These eyes are dry." That man showed up to Greater Faith Baptist Church with 3 tissues, a backup handkerchief, and sunglasses, indoors, in a church with no windows open. The organ started playing, 300 people stood, and Walter Jerome Brooks grabbed his daughter's arm like she was a purse in a crowded mall. "Daddy, walk. I am walking. You are standing. Standing and walking are 2 different verbs. Pick one." He took 1 step, then stopped, adjusted his tie, looked around the church like a man who suddenly forgot where he was and why he was here. Mama Brooks, front row, hat fully loaded, jaw tight behind her Sunday smile, hissed from the pew, "Walter, if you do not move, I will come up there and drag both of you to that altar. Don't test me today." He didn't speed up, he slowed down, on purpose, because Walter Brooks was going to stretch this 60-foot aisle into a full memoir, and there wasn't a soul alive brave enough to stop him. Uncle Ray leaned to Cousin Darnell, "On this pace, the reception food gonna be cold before they say I do." Then halfway down, he stopped completely. The organ player looked up confused. The pastor leaned forward. 300 people held their breath like the building forgot how air worked. He turned to Destiny, reached up, fixed her veil with both hands. Those hands were shaking. This man who interrogated a mafia boss on a balcony, who made Jihoon forget his own name. His fingers were trembling so bad the lace was moving. "Your mama told me not to cry." Destiny's eyes were already gone. "And?" He said, "Baby, I've been lying since sunrise. I cried in the shower, I cried getting dressed, I cried in the car. Your Uncle Ray saw me and pretended he didn't because he's a good man." Uncle Ray, pew 6, wiping his own face. "I saw nothing." They reached the altar. Jihoon was standing, no wheelchair, just his cane, eyes locked on Destiny like she was the only person God made that morning. Daddy Brooks took Destiny's hand, placed it in Jihoon's. His grip lingered, just long enough for his heart to catch up with what his hands were doing. "Take care of my baby, Sugarcane." 300 people, 1 nickname, 30 years of fatherhood surrendered in 2 words. Jihoon's jaw tightened, eyes wet. "Yes, sir, always." The pastor opened his Bible, and every woman over 50 in that building did the same sigh. You know the one your mama does when the preacher pulls out the thick Bible with 7 bookmarks, color-coded with tabs. Sister Joyce closed her eyes. "I should have brought a snack." That man preached 20 minutes before he got to the vows, referenced Genesis, Corinthians, and his own marriage, which his wife in pew 1 was shaking her head through the entire time. Finally, he called Jihoon forward. No paper, no notes. The church went quiet, because this man had 2 bodyguards standing at the door, a neck tattoo that made Deacon Marshall clutch his Bible, and a face that looked like it had never been introduced to the concept of joy. Every woman in that building leaned forward, because they needed to hear what this man's voice even sounded like. "I lost my wife 2 years ago. Same accident that took my legs." Nobody breathed. "I sat in a dark house, curtains closed, no music, no laughter. My daughter stopped smiling. I stopped everything. I wasn't living, Destiny. I was just deciding not to die. There's a difference, and it's an ugly one. Mama Brooks grabbed Daddy Brooks's arm so hard that man lost circulation. Then you showed up, broke, loud, completely unqualified. Destiny laughed through wet eyes. And you didn't try to save me. You just refused to let me sit in the dark alone. That's not fixing someone. That's loving someone. And I will spend the rest of my life deserving it. The church was finished. Sister Marlene was fanning herself and the woman next to her. Daddy Brooks was holding Mama Brooks up while falling apart himself. Kesha wiped her eyes. She never cried at anything and whispered, "Damn, that's some Nicholas Sparks level." Kang Day leaned over. "You cry at romantic movies, don't you?" Her grip on the bouquet went white. That pew was doing structural work. Then Destiny stepped forward. Her hands were shaking. She didn't have notes either. She had something worse. She had the truth. "I showed up to your house with $11, one suitcase with a broken zipper, a pair of heels held together by prayer. I had nothing, Ji-hoon, nothing but loud opinions and a bonnet." The church laughed, soft, tender. "I wasn't looking for love. I was looking for a paycheck. But God has a sense of humor because he put me in a dark house with a man who forgot how to smile and a 5-year-old who interviewed me harder than any job I ever applied to." Sue nodded from the front row, confirmed. "You didn't need a nanny, Ji-hoon. You needed someone too stubborn to leave. And baby, I am the most stubborn woman in this building, and that is saying something because my mama is right there." Mama Brooks pointed at herself, proud. "She gets it from me." Destiny's voice cracked. "I gave up London for you, and people told me I was crazy. They said I was throwing away my future for a man, but they were wrong, because you weren't just a man, you were my future. I just didn't know it yet." She wiped her eyes, took a breath. "You taught me that home isn't a place, it's wherever your people are, and you are my people. You and that bossy little girl who showed up in my room on day 1 and told me breakfast was at 7 and she doesn't like waiting." Big Mama's red nails were pressed to her lips. Grandma Kim was sitting so still she looked like carved from stone, but her eyes were wet. Then Destiny did it. She spoke the rest in Korean. What she meant to say, "You are my heart. I will love you in every lifetime. You are my sugar corn." What she actually said, translated back to English, "You are my chest. I will love you in every airport. You are my sugar corn." A bodyguard looked at the ceiling. The other one covered his mouth. Grandma Kim's left eye twitched so hard her face was at war with itself. The Korean delegation was suffering in silence. Kesha snorted with laughter so loud 3 people turned around. Kang Day whispered, "Your laugh is louder than her pronunciation." Kesha hissed back, "Is that supposed to be an insult?" "It's supposed to be an observation. I like loud women." Her brain completely malfunctioned. But Ji-hoon laughed and cried at the same time. His face didn't know which direction to go. Grandma Kim, tears falling, posture still perfect. Her pronunciation should be arrested. Big Mama also crying. "But did you feel it?" "I felt it." Then the pastor lost his mind, started praying things that were not in the bulletin. "Lord, protect this marriage from the enemy, from temptation, and from ex-boyfriends named Darius." Destiny's jaw dropped. Kesha hollered. A woman in row 4 caught the Holy Ghost so hard she knocked Sister Ernestine's hat sideways. Ernestine didn't even notice because she was catching it too. Grandma Kim grabbed Big Mama's arm. "Is that woman being electrocuted?" Big Mama, calm as a woman who's seen this every Sunday for 60 years. "She's blessed, Mrs. Kim." "She doesn't look blessed." "Same thing, different denomination."
The pastor raised both hands. "By the power vested in me by the state of Mississippi and the Almighty God," he didn't even get to "You may kiss the bride" before Ji-hoon pulled Destiny in. The pastor stopped mid-sentence, looked at his Bible, looked at them, closed the Bible, stepped back. This wasn't his moment anymore. That kiss wasn't church appropriate. It wasn't polite. It was a man who spent 2 years in darkness kissing the woman who turned the lights back on. Then the church lost it. Mama Brooks screamed, not a cute scream, a scream that made the stained glass vibrate. "That's my baby! My baby married a whole CEO!"
Daddy Brooks jumped up, clapping like his team won the Super Bowl. "I approved him! Y'all see that? I approved him first!" Uncle Ray whistled so loud 3 people in pew 7 ducked. Sister Marlene's hat tilted 45 degrees. She didn't fix it. She was too busy fanning herself and Sister Joyce at the same time. Sister Ernestine just gave up and laid her head on the pew in front of her. The Korean bodyguards broke protocol. Both of them clapped, in unison. One whispered into his earpiece, "Mission accomplished. The boss is married." Mr. Park, coral suit glowing, sobbed into a handkerchief Auntie Denise embroidered with his initials. She was rubbing his back, whispering, "Let it out, baby. You earned this cry." Everyone was cheering. Keisha was clapping with the crowd when Kong Dae leaned close. "When's the last time someone kissed you like that?" Keisha's clapping stopped. "That's none of your—" "I'm guessing never." The audacity! She spun around to destroy him, but forgot she was holding her bridesmaid bouquet. The flowers went flying, hit Sister Marlene square in the face, petals everywhere. Sister Marlene's perfectly applied lipstick now had a rose petal stuck to it. Sister Marlene plucked the petal off her lips, slowly, deliberately. Did this girl just assault me with flowers during the holy kiss? Sister Joyce gasped. She threw her bouquet at Sister Marlene. Sister Ernestine shook her head. No home training whatsoever. Keisha stood there, bouquet on the floor, 3 church ladies glaring, Kong Dae behind her with the smallest smile. Then Sue stood up. This child walked to the center of the aisle, hands on her hips, church hat perfectly positioned, faced the congregation like she was about to deliver a State of the Union. Finally! 300 people went quiet. "Do you know how long I've been planning this? I locked them in a garden. I faked nightmares at 2 a.m. I stole chairs from the dining room. I am 5 years old, and I have been doing the Lord's work while y'all were sleeping." The front 3 rows erupted. Big Mama pointed a red stiletto nail at Sue. "That's my great-grandbaby. She gets that from me." Grandma Kim from the other side, voice calm but firm. "She gets that strategic planning from me." Both women looked at each other. Sue looked at both of them. "I get it from both of you. Now can someone get me juice? This wedding was exhausting." She paused, looked directly at Keisha. "Also, Auntie Keisha, why did you hit Sister Marlene with flowers?" The church remembered. All eyes turned to Keisha. Keisha wanted to evaporate. Kong Dae's shoulders shook. He was enjoying this. The church roared. But in the back pew, Carol Henderson sat alone. Her phone was dead, screen black, the streamline to Linda cut off mid-sentence. Across the street, her counterparty sat empty, streamers sagging, balloons deflating. Not one person came. She watched Ji-hoon and Destiny walk back up the aisle, hand in hand, surrounded by family, surrounded by love, laughing, crying, whole. Carol wasn't angry. Carol was lonely, and that was so much worse.
You know that uncle who shows up to every family cookout with his own grill, his own cooler, and an attitude about anybody else's seasoning. And you know he's been talking about these young folks don't know nothing about real barbecue since 1987. Uncle Ray found his match, and that match had a Michelin star and an opinion. Big Mama's backyard was transformed. Fairy lights strung between trees, tables covered in white linen that Big Mama threatened lives over. "If anybody spills on my tablecloths, I'm writing you out of my will, and I don't care if you're not in it yet." But nobody was looking at the decorations. They were watching Uncle Ray and the Michelin chef have a silent war at the buffet tables. 2 stations facing each other, like the Korean DMZ, but with food. Uncle Ray's side, brisket he'd been smoking since yesterday. Ribs, mac and cheese so thick the spoon stood up in it. Cornbread, greens with ham hocks. The chef's side, bulgogi, perfectly arranged banchan, japchae, everything plated like it was going in a museum. Uncle Ray's sign said, "Soul Food, Est 1967. The chef put up his sign, Elevated Cuisine. Uncle Ray saw that, walked to his truck, came back with duct tape and a Sharpie, added under his sign, "For people who actually get full." Daddy Brooks whispered to Mama Brooks, "Raymond is about to get beat up by a man with a tasting menu." Then the chef did something petty. He rearranged his banchan, made it prettier, added garnish, turned his entire table into something that belonged on Instagram. Uncle Ray saw that, took his barbecue sauce bottles, lined them up by height, wiped them down, made his table look like a bar. Auntie Denise worked past. "Y'all are children." Then Cousin Darnell pointed. "Wait, what is that?" A third table appeared, between them, Uncle Ray and the chef standing on either side of it, grinning.
kimchi collard greens, bulgogi mac and cheese, gochujang ribs, cornbread with sesame miso butter. They'd been working together in secret for 3 days while pretending to hate each other in front of the family. Uncle Ray announced, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have achieved world peace through cheese." The chef added, "The seasoning was collaborative." Uncle Ray, "But the smoke was mine." The chef, "The technique was mine." They were about to start again when Grandma Kim walked up. The backyard went silent. Big Mama stopped mid-sentence. Mr. Park put down his champagne. Uncle Ray's smile froze because this woman had been critiquing his cornbread all week, and he was about to find out if his reputation survived. Grandma Kim picked up a plate, examined the bulgogi mac and cheese like a judge reviewing evidence, took a bite, chewed. Her face revealed nothing. Uncle Ray was sweating. The chef's jaw was tight. She swallowed, set down her fork, looked at both men. "This is more than acceptable." Big Mama screamed. Uncle Ray grabbed the chef and hugged him. The chef hugged him back. Two men who'd been at war for 72 hours were now brothers. Sister Ernestine leaned to Sister Joyce. "Did we just witness a miracle?" Grandma Kim took a second bite, then a third. She didn't say anything else. She didn't need to. Her plate was empty. There are moments in life that feel like they should last forever. This was one of them. The DJ played Before I Let Go, and every black woman over 40 stood up at the exact same time, like the song activated something in their bones. Sister Marlene's knees hadn't worked right since 2003, but she was first on that floor. Mama Brooks grabbed Auntie Denise. Big Mama didn't dance, but she supervised, red nails pointing at anyone whose footwork was questionable. Then, someone dragged the bodyguards onto the floor. These men trained for combat, for tactical operations, for international crises. They executed the electric slide with lethal precision, perfect timing, zero expression, earpieces still in. One whispered into his mic, "Formation acquired, executing left slide, requesting no backup." Uncle Ray watched them, mouth open. "Those boys move like the Secret Service, but they on beat. I respect it." Keisha stayed on the sidelines while everyone else flooded the dance floor. She was fine right here, safe, in control. Then Kang Day appeared, so close she could smell his cologne, that same cologne that got her in trouble at the ceremony. "You're hiding." "I'm not hiding, I'm observing." From the furthest corner, behind a table, in the shadows. Strategic positioning. He stepped closer, close enough that she had to tilt her head up to look at him. "You've been avoiding me since you assaulted Sister Marlene with flowers." Her face went hot. "I did not assault." "You threw a bouquet at a church elder during a sacred kiss. I was there. I have witnesses." "That was your fault." "Was it?" His voice dropped, quiet, dangerous. "What exactly did I do?" She opened her mouth, closed it, because she couldn't say, "You asked when someone last kissed me and I lost my mind," out loud. He noticed. Of course he noticed. "That's what I thought." He extended his hand, not a request, a challenge. "Dance with me." He stared at his hand, at the veins on his wrist, at the way his fingers were perfectly still while her entire body was betraying her. "I don't dance." "You don't dance, or you don't dance with me." The way he said "me" made her stomach flip. "Both." He leaned closer, his mouth near her ear. "Coward." Then he walked away, didn't look back, left her standing there with her heart pounding and her pride in pieces. Then Mr. Park stepped onto the floor. Carl suit, top button undone, hair slightly out of place. This man who spent 20 years looking like he ironed his face every morning. He didn't just dance, he was free. Auntie Denise was behind him, not guiding anymore, just watching. Her hand went to her chest because she was seeing something she'd been working towards for weeks, a man remembering to be human. The song shifted, slowed, the electric slide ended, but the music kept going. Mr. Park turned around, saw her standing there, eyes wet, and without thinking, without planning, without consulting his tablet or checking his schedule, he pulled her onto the floor for a slow dance at a Mississippi wedding reception, under fairy lights, in a Carl suit. Auntie Denise looked up at him. "You know how to slow dance, too?" "I'm learning a lot of things this week." She smiled, the real smile, the one she'd been hiding under all that loud. "Baby, you're doing real good." "I have a good teacher." They swayed. Not perfectly. Mr. Park stepped on her foot twice, but she didn't care, because for the first time in 20 years, this man wasn't thinking about schedules or emails or what happened next. He was just here, present, alive. Across the yard, Ji-hoon watched his assistant, his brother, dance with a woman who fixed him in 3 weeks. Destiny leaned into his shoulder. You think he's going back to Seoul? No, I think he's already home. Keisha watched them from her corner, Mr. Park and Auntie Denise swaying under the lights. She'd been alone her whole life and told herself she liked it, but watching them, watching everyone, made something in her chest ache. Auntie Denise appeared beside her. "Baby, why you breathing like you just ran a marathon?" Keisha couldn't even answer. Big Mama tried to pull Grandma Kim onto the floor. Grandma Kim resisted. "Mrs. Brooks, I do not." "Tonight you do." Grandma Kim did one perfect step, then walked away. Sufficient. I participated. But later, Sue found her in the kitchen, doing the full routine, alone, perfectly. They locked eyes. You saw nothing. I saw everything. Cornbread? 2 years, unlimited. Sue grinned. Deal. Outside, the music played, the fairy lights glowed, and for just a moment, everything was exactly where it should be.
Uncle Ray went first because nobody could stop him. Marriage is like brisket. You need time, low heat, patience. Y'all seen my smoker? Been running since 4 a.m. That's commitment. Don't rush love or it'll dry out and nobody wants to eat dry brisket. Ask my ex-wife. She rushed me. Now she eating bland food in Alabama with a man who don't even own a smoker. The backyard howled. Mama Brooks stood up next, meted 4 words before she broke. "My baby!" Sobs, full-body sobs, waving her hands, pointing at Destiny, saying something about $11 in London, but it was all tears. Nobody understood a single word, but the entire backyard cried with her anyway, because that's what you do. Then Mr. Park stood up, coral suit, champagne glass shaken in his hand, piece of paper he'd written and rewritten 17 times. He looked at it, folded it, put it away. "I have worked for Mr. Kim for 20 years. His voice cracked on the number. 20 years, half his adult life. I scheduled his life, his meetings, his meals. I watched him lose his wife. I watched him stop smiling. I watched him sit in that wheelchair and disappear into a house so silent I forgot what my own voice sounded like. The backyard went still. For 20 years I was invisible. I was schedules, tablets, reminders. I wasn't a person. I was a function. Ji-hoon's jaw tightened. His eyes filled. Then Destiny walked in, and she was loud. So loud I wanted to quit. She didn't follow rules. She opened curtains I closed. She played music I had banned. She looked at me one morning and said, "Mr. Park, when's the last time you smiled?" And I realized I couldn't remember. His voice broke. She didn't just save him. She reminded me I was human, that I wasn't just a suit and a schedule, that somewhere under 20 years of serving, there was still a man who deserved to live. He couldn't continue. Tried. His mouth opened. Nothing came out. In the audience, Kesha's eyes were wet. She tried to blink it away, tilted her head back, bit her lip, anything to stop the tears. Because she knew what Mr. Park was saying. She knew what it felt like to be invisible, to perform a role so well that people forgot you were human underneath it. Kong Dai leaned close. "You're crying. Allergies. It's nighttime, no pollen. Emotional allergies from feelings." He didn't say anything, just pulled a pocket square from his jacket, expensive, monogram, handed it to her. She stared at it, at the embroidered initials, at his hand holding it like it was the most natural thing in the world. She took it, without thinking, then froze, because she just accepted a romantic gesture, in public, at a wedding, in front of the church ladies who already thought she had no home training. Kong Dai's mouth twitched. "You'll give it back later. I'll mail it. I'll pick it up, personally." Her heart did something illegal. She dabbed her eyes with his pocket square and tried to pretend that didn't mean anything. Auntie Denise stood up, walked over, took the mic from his shaking hand with the tenderness of a woman who had decided this man was hers now. "What he's trying to say is, Destiny fixed that man, and I'm fixing this one." She looked at Mr. Park. He looked at her, the whole backyard watching.
Sit down, baby. You did good. She kissed his cheek, soft, real, claiming him. The backyard erupted. Later, Mr. Park found Ji-hoon by the fence, pulled out his tablet, the tablet that ran Ji-hoon's life for 20 years, looked at it, dropped it in the bushes. Sir, I'm requesting 30 days leave. Miss Denise says proper cast iron seasoning takes time. Ji-hoon laughed through wet eyes. Take as long as you need. That's an order. Mr. Park exhaled. He wasn't going back to Seoul. Not now. Maybe not ever.
The microphone felt heavy in Keisha's hand. She looked out at the backyard full of faces she'd been entertaining all week. Time to give them what they expected. Y'all, let me tell you about this bride right here. The crowd settled, ready for the show. Destiny Brooks walked into my life in 3rd grade and immediately stole my fruit snacks. Been stealing my stuff ever since. My clothes, my lip gloss, my dignity when she makes me watch Korean dramas with no subtitles. Laughter. Good. Stay light. And Ji-hoon, baby, you are brave. Most men run when Destiny starts talking. You married her. That's not love, that's courage. More laughter, but Keisha's smile was starting to crack. But real talk, her voice shifted, quieter. I've been watching y'all this whole week, watching real love, the kind where you give up everything because losing them would be losing yourself. The laughter faded. Destiny gave up London for this man, threw away her dream, and I watched people call her crazy. But she wasn't crazy, she was brave, because real love is rare. Her voice cracked. I'm 28 years old. I have money, I have success, I have everything a girl's supposed to want, but I've never had someone look at me the way Ji-hoon looks at Destiny, like I'm home. The backyard went silent. My parents got divorced when I was 12. My daddy's priority was business, always business. My mama's priority was staying young, staying fun, staying anything but a mother. Tears were falling now. She couldn't stop them. The Brooks family raised me, fed me, loved me. Big Mama taught me how to season greens. Uncle Ray taught me how to change a tire. Mama Patricia taught me how to pray. They gave me the only real family I ever had. Destiny was sobbing. Mama Brooks had her hand over her heart. So Destiny, when you found Ji-hoon, you found what I've been looking for my whole life. Someone who stays, someone who chooses you when it's hard, someone who sees you at your worst and says, this is my person. She wiped her face with the back of her hand. I'm so happy for y'all it hurts, because you deserve this love. And maybe someday the rest of us broken people will find it too. She sat down, fast, like the words had cost her everything. The backyard erupted, but Keisha couldn't hear it over the sound of her own heart breaking. Across the yard, Kang Dae hadn't moved, hadn't clapped, had just watched. And for the first time in 16 years, Keisha felt seen. After her speech, Keisha was surrounded. Immediately, the Brooks family descended like a protective army. Destiny grabbed her hands. Baby, that was beautiful. Your family, you know that, right? Mama Brooks pulled her into a hug. That's my daughter. Always been my daughter. Uncle Ray patted her shoulder. Girl, you part of this family since you could walk. Don't you forget it. Big Mama nodded from her chair. Been telling people you're my grandbaby for years. Nothing changed. Keisha forced a smile, made her voice bright. Y'all know I'm an emotional drunk, right? Don't take anything I said seriously. I probably just made that whole thing up for attention. You know how I am. They laughed, because that's what they expected. Classic Keisha, making jokes, being loud. But Kang Dae stood apart, watching, not laughing. Keisha tried to escape to the house. He intercepted her, quietly, calmly. That wasn't drunk. That was honest. Same thing. Both make you say stupid stuff. When did your father leave? She stopped walking. Who said he left? Maybe I left him. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe broken children grow up to be broken adults who break everything they... Keisha. What? Answer the question. She laughed, dark. He didn't leave. He just existed. In the same house, like a roommate who paid bills but never learned my middle name. Efficient, really. All the financial benefits of having a father with none of the emotional labor. And your mother? Oh, she was present, very present, at parties, at dinners, at charity galas where people could see her being fabulous, just never present for me. When did your parents get divorced? I'm not doing this with you. When, Keisha?
December 15th, 2010. I was 12. My birthday was December 10th. They waited 5 days after my birthday to tell me. Happy? She was getting angry, but anger is just pain wearing a costume. Her voice cracked on the last word. Birthdays were hilarious. The help singing happy birthday while my parents were in different countries. Very Norman Rockwell, very wholesome. Kang Day stepped closer. When did you stop expecting them to show up? The question hit. She couldn't breathe. When I was 14, school play. I was the lead. I kept looking at the audience, waiting. The curtain came down, and I was still waiting. Who came? Nobody. Well, the chauffeur picked me up. Does that count? Her laugh was broken, so broken that even she couldn't pretend it was funny. Then Destiny called out, "Bouquet time!" The bouquet sailed, landed in Keisha's hands perfectly. She stared at it, these flowers, this symbol of love, this thing she'd never believed was meant for her. She dropped it like it was on fire. I can't do this. She ran, not walked, ran, away from the reception, away from love, away from the possibility of being seen. Kang Day picked up the bouquet she dropped and waited, because broken people run, but they also come back when they're ready to be caught.
Big Mama and Grandma Kim sat on the porch like two detectives who'd cracked the biggest case of their lives. "How long you think she gonna wait to tell us?" Big Mama asked. Grandma Kim sipped her tea. She's been avoiding wine for 3 weeks, and she asked for crackers this morning at a wedding. "I've been knowing since Tuesday. Child keeps touching her stomach when she thinks nobody's looking." They watched Ji-hoon across the yard, completely oblivious, talking business with Mr. Park. "Not a clue," Big Mama chuckled. "Good, let her tell him when she's ready." Later, Destiny approached them, nervous, fidgeting. "Big Mama, Grandma Kim, I need to tell y'all something." Both grandmas looked at her with identical knowing faces. I'm pregnant." Mama Brooks, walking past, gasped so loud the fairy lights shook. Destiny lunged and covered her mouth with both hands. "Mama, Ji-hoon doesn't know yet. I want to surprise him when we get to Seoul." Mama Brooks nodded frantically behind Destiny's hands, eyes wide with joy. Big Mama pulled Destiny close. "Come here, baby. You're expanding the territory in more ways than one." Across the street, Carol Henderson sat alone. Big Mama saw her, walked over with a plate of food. "Carol, you've been watching us for 34 years. Maybe it's time you join us." Carol's chin wobbled. She took the plate. 34 years of war ended with cornbread and kindness. On the private jet, Destiny expected Seoul on the screen. It read, "London." Ji-hoon handed her a folder. "You gave up London for me. I'm giving it back." She sobbed. "You gave me both, the love and the dream? Now I have something to tell you." She placed his hand on her stomach. "We're having a baby." Silence. Then his eyes filled. He couldn't speak. Sue, who'd been pretending to sleep, "Finally, I've been the only kid in this family for 5 years. Can we name the baby Biscuit?" "We are not naming our baby after a dog," Destiny laughed. "What if it's a boy? Boys can be named Biscuit." "Nobody is being named Biscuit." Later, when everything settled, Sue leaned against Destiny, eyes closing, the most natural thing in the world. "Mom, can we get a dog in London, too, for the baby?" Destiny's breath caught. Ji-hoon's hand found hers. "What did you call me?" "Mom, can we get 2 dogs? One for me and one for my baby brother or sister?" She pulled Sue close, this little girl who chose her as mother, this man who gave her dreams, this baby growing inside her. Her family, complete, perfect, hers. 30,000 feet above the world, everything was exactly where it should be. 5 years later, Big Mama's porch still had 2 chairs. She and Grandma Kim watched sunsets without speaking. Perfect understanding. Mr. Park wore linen now, seasoned cast iron like a master, and called Ji-hoon from Mississippi between spoonfuls of Auntie Denise's cornbread. In London, Destiny ran international consulting for Fortune 500 companies, still wore big earrings, still opened every curtain in every room. Ji-hoon walked without a cane, ran his empire from their penthouse.
Sue was 9, trilingual, bossed around her 4-year-old brother who was exactly as stubborn as she'd been. Their dog Biscuit wore tiny church hats that arrived monthly from Mississippi. Everyone was exactly where they should be, except one person. High-end restaurant, a woman in emerald silk finished dinner, alone. Keisha built her own empire, had everything except the one thing that mattered. Rain started falling. She got in a taxi. 20 minutes later, stepped out onto the street. As she closed the taxi door, someone approached with a black umbrella. She turned. Time stopped. Kang Dae, older, sharper, holding an umbrella over her head while the rain soaked his shoulders. You stopped running. Her voice came out broken. You came prepared. I've been prepared for 5 years. He kept the umbrella over her, rain hitting his shoes, his eyes locked on hers. You're getting wet. I know. You'll ruin your suit. You spent your whole life holding your own umbrella, Keisha. I thought maybe, just once, someone should hold it for you. Her heart slammed against her chest. 5 years of running, 5 years of being alone, and there he was, still waiting, still choosing her. Time slowed. The rain fell like a movie. He stepped closer. Oi! Nobody's paid me yet! The taxi driver's head was out the window, rain hitting his face, wipers going full speed. I've got work to do. This ain't a romantic film. Where's my money? Keisha and Kang Dae froze, mid-moment, mid-everything. Kang Dae reached into his pocket, still holding the umbrella over her, handed the driver money through the window. Keep the change. Finally, you two can get back to your slow-motion nonsense. The taxi drove away. Keisha started laughing, real laughter, the kind that uses your whole soul. 5 years of running and a taxi driver just ruined our moment. Good thing I'm patient. How patient? His smile got dangerous. I waited 5 years in the rain for you. What's 5 more minutes? She stepped closer, under his umbrella, close enough to count his heartbeats. I'm done running. Good, because I'm done chasing. Fade to black. He waited 5 years. She ran for 5 years. But some people are worth the rain. The Korean CEO and the runaway bridesmaid. Coming soon.
Y'all, I am emotionally exhausted. I just married off my fictional daughter to a Korean CEO in a Mississippi backyard, and I need a nap. But first, let me thank some legends. Massive shout out to @Red5CT Diamonds1, @Winoka Abolahum 8756, @Music for All 11, and @Lee Cheney 3822 for the generous super thanks. Y'all are the reason this story exists. Blessings on you and your entire bloodline. Now, special recognition to @Nitzia Martine Vasquez 4420, who watched all 4 parts at 5 a.m., woke up their neighbors laughing, screamed into their pillow during parts 2 and 3, and then left me a full essay with season 2 plot ideas involving twins, Big Mama finding a retired Korean Mafia boss, and the entire Mississippi congregation invading Seoul. Baby, you didn't just watch this story, you wrote the sequel in the comments. That's dedication. That's vision. Put some respect on that name. And @NicolaBo6010, you said, and I quote, "You doing me dirty. I checking daily and nothing. Why you acting like this? I already in church and waiting. Why are you being mean?" Church. You were in church, waiting for a fictional wedding like it was your own family getting married. That broke me. That healed me. That made me write faster. Listen, the comments have been getting too hot and too entertaining. Y'all literally threatened me. I had to speed up the production process because half of you were camped out in my comments section like it was Black Friday and I was hiding the good deals. Like I said in part 4, I've been very busy, and I'm really sorry for the delay, but I'm yours now. I'm locked in. Be ready to get steady updates from now on, so make sure you turn on that notification bell, because you're gonna need it.